I am live. Mystery guest in the studio, can you hear me? Thumbs up or thumbs down? 2 thumbs up. Mystery guest in the studio, is the background music too loud? 2 thumbs up for too loud, 1 thumbs up for just right. 1 thumb up for just right. Fantastic. Jedi Monkey is in the chat. Okay, Jedi Monkey, this is not zoning out with John Hodgman. This is Judge John Hodgman open court. We will be zoning out today at 4 p.m. We'll be zoning out at 4 p.m. That is in 3 hours. 3 hours we'll be zoning out, where I will be playing Sim City 2013 edition, kind of in a Bob Ross style. Instead of painting happy little trees, I build little buildings and I knock them down. This is open court. I am patiently awaiting our friend, Jesse Thorn, your bailiff, my bailiff, everybody's bailiff, Jesse Thorn. In the meantime, if you have a dispute that you want settled, you can go to you can go to a browser. Just find a browser, for heaven's sake. I touch my nostril. Real pro streamer over here. Nostril toucher. Nostril touching John, they call me around town. Go to bit.ly/beef327, bit.ly/beef327 from your browser. Point your camera at yourself, and unless you're a creep, we'll hear your dispute. I hope you're not a creep. None of you are creeps, right? Jesse Thorn, is anybody a creep?
Yeah, sure. I bet some of them are creeps.
Okay, some people may be creeps. It's true. We are essentially opening the phones.
I would say relatively narrow band of creeps, though, wouldn't you?
I would say most, if not all, of the Max Fun members are anti-creeps.
There could be a few mummies.
That's true. There could be a few Frankenstein's monsters.
A lot of mummies have access to a lot of resources because they were buried with gold and various odorants and unguents.
Yeah, and they're mummified, and they're mummified cats as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make you a little bit bigger because you deserve it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, everybody! If you look over Jesse's left shoulder, the top right of your screen. Yep, there it is. You'll see a little overlay there. If you can make out those words, Max Fun Drive. That's because this is the hashtag Max Fun Drive. It is the 2 weeks per year when we come to you and say, hey, remember all those podcasts that you listened to all year, last year, and going forward this year? We don't ask for much, but if you want to pay for them now, that'd be terrific. Thank you. Go to MaximumFun.org/join. You see it ticking along there in the bottom ticker. And you can become a member, you can upgrade, you can boost your membership.
You know what's keeping this drink cold, John?
You can give a membership to someone. What's that? Ice? Is it ice?
It's not standard ice, John.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that that's a glass of Pebble Ice in my face right now?
You bet it is.
Wow. How's that tasting?
Extraordinarily refreshing.
I bet
like Coca-Cola in a commercial.
I bet it makes that water extra cold. What are you having? Some tap water from the sink?
Yeah. That's a beautiful, beautiful tap, straight from the Colorado River or whatever.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What do your dogs drink from a bowl?
Yeah.
Our cat exclusively drinks from a glass on a windowsill. That's it.
Is that some kind of cat thing, or?
Apparently, if you were to follow memes and stuff, cats love to drink human water more than other water. And so we tricked our cat. Our cat would drink water. She was not dehydrated. But one day we left some human water on the windowsill, and we woke up in the middle of the night, and all we heard was this: lick, 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 lick. That cat was drinking so much water, like it was bananas. So now we give her a little glass of water. But I bet she'd love some Pebble Ice too.
I was watching that new Bridget Everett show. It's not that new. It's a year and a half old now.
Right.
And in the pilot, there's an amazing part where she's working at her office, and it's like a seminar kind of thing. Right. And she goes to the break room and pours herself one of those little paper cones of water. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know those. Those are
And
great.
she's sort of sipping it, and then she sort of looks at it and she goes, and then she notices a guy in the seminar is sort of looking over through the doorway, and she goes, she just gives it a try. They don't play it heavy. They just a little
just a
light.
little. You gotta give it a little. You ever eat your cereal on the floor like a dog when you were a kid?
I ate dog food when I was a kid.
Yeah, of course you did. Lol, says M. Dot.
It was in a big red trash can in my house. How could you resist?
Would you stick your face in there and go, or did you just have a single kibble?
No, I just gave it a little.
Yeah.
If
you've eaten dog food or cat food for recreational purposes, just to give it a taste, give it a try, let us know in the chat what you tasted, and was it wet? Was it wet food? Was it a Gainsburger? I always wanted to eat one of those Gainsburgers.
What's a Gainsburger?
That was something that was advertised when I was a kid in the late 70s, early 80s. They look like hamburgers for dogs. This Zaphod's cat drinks from the shower, like from the sides of the tub after I get out. He's gross. I agree. Gross.
Okay, I have some questions here from Reddit.
Oh, okay, good. And I know that we've got some people in the studio waiting to hop in too. So let's get into it. If you've got a beef that you want to settled, you see the URL there, bit.ly/beef327. That's beef, today's date. And get in the studio, and we'll put you in the mix.
We're passing out justice like an NFL player at a strip club. Okay, we're taking our kids to Paris this summer. Nice. Liam, wow. That is a gambit. Even as someone who I traveled a lot with my mom as a kid, I feel like taking children to Paris, that's a bold gambit.
Yeah.
We're taking our kids to Paris this summer. Liam, age 12, wants to visit the Paris Sewer Museum. I predicted, and internet reviews confirm, that said museum has an unpleasant sewer-esque odor. And I believe we can find other fun things to do in Paris. Seems unlikely. Please order that we do not have to visit the sewer museum and instead can find other cool things to do that are less stinky.
All right, first of all, I just want to point out that Crab Morte said, I bought these special vegan cat treats, tempeh bites, too salty. Too salty. Okay, good to know. How old is Liam again?
12 years old.
Do you have a sense of where they're traveling from? Like, are they flying from New York, or are they taking the Channel train from London?
The question whether there are sewers where they're from?
I guess I mean to say, if you're asking your 11-year-old to go on this trip, and it's a long airplane ride, which is hard for kids, I think, because kids don't get to enjoy what adults get to enjoy about long airplane rides, if they're lucky, which is being away from their kids for 5 hours. I mean, you owe your kid a trip to the sewer. Like, that's something that he's interested in. I bet it's cool. I bet it's incredible.
There's a little something called child-directed learning here.
Yeah, don't squash your kid's interests in the sewers.
Where are you going to go? The Louvre? Everybody goes to the Louvre. Go to the sewer museum. They have poops.
I know someone who just went to the Louvre, and you know what they said about it?
What's that?
Thumbs down.
Really? Thumbs down on the Louvre?
Too crowded. Can't do it.
It's sewer museum I bet you'd like to go to, John.
Mais non.
The
sewers of Vienna, Austria, as featured in the film The Third Man. Boy, oh boy, I wish that StreamYard offered the Third Man theme as background music.
What zither stuff do they have? Do they have anything zither?
I'll have to double check that. Yes, that's right. Sounds like they're going to. I tried to click on this person. The sewer museum will become a wonderful family lore, but I slipped and I clicked on Alan Bush saying, sounds like they're going to the Louvre. Weird dad joke right in there.
Wow. A lot of hard work in there.
Jesse, the Rodin Museum is phenomenal. The Musée d'Orsay is what I hear. If you want to catch some really nice art without the crowds of the Louvre, Go to the Musée d'Orsay. And Paris is a world-class city, and it's got some world-class Merde underneath it, floating around. Go check it out.
Yeah.
You got another one from Reddit there for me, Jesse?
I got a museum recommendation.
Let's hear it.
It's not for Paris. I've never been to Paris, but it's for London, England, which is right next door via rocket train.
Right.
Underwater rocket train. The Sir John Soane Museum.
Hey, didn't we go to that together?
I think we did go to that together. That is an incredible museum. It is just the best kind of museum, which is like a guy in 1790 or 1810 or whatever, who was rich and weird and bought a bunch of mummies.
Put him in his house.
He was a very important architect, very consequential in the history of European architecture.
Oh.
Basically invented a lot of the principles by which natural light is brought into smaller places, darker places in homes.
Yeah, they called him the king of the skylights.
And he bought a mummy that was too big to fit through his door.
Right.
So he cut out part of his floor on the second floor.
Yeah.
Took the entire front wall off his house.
Uh-huh.
Brought the mummy in straight through the front of the house.
Uh-huh.
Planted it on the ground floor. Then turned the second floor into a mummy viewing platform.
You're saying that that's how he discovered the skylight? The skylight was discovered in the process of mummy delivery?
I mean, broadly speaking, yes.
Oh, I wouldn't bring a mummy into my house. They're creeps. Jennifer Marmer reminds us she was there too.
You know what else he invented? He invented an architecture school. I'm remembering amazing things about Sir John Soane. He invented in architecture school the idea of studying a model. Before that, you had to go to a building to study it. He went to the classical world. He went to, the Roman world.
Right.
And created models of classical buildings.
Right.
Brought them back to architecture school. And that was totally new. It had never occurred to someone to reproduce a building physically so that you could study it anywhere else but where the building sat.
This is in London, England, the John Soane Museum.
Great museum.
You got another dispute there from the Reddit before I bring in our special.
I thought you were going to ask for another museum recommendation because I definitely recommend the Museum of Jurassic Technology in Los Angeles.
No, I've never been. Do you know
My beef is with strangers.
I don't want to believe that it exists.
Wait, have you really never been to the Museum of? For real?
For real. And you would think it is right. I read Lawrence Weschler's article about that in Harper's in real time, the 90s. Sam Potts and I were obsessed with that museum. And we couldn't figure out whether the article was about an actual place or pretending to be about an actual place. And I loved the ambiguity of that. And I didn't want to ruin it by seeing the actual museum.
Can I tell you something about Lawrence Weschler? Author of I think he won a Pulitzer or something for the book version of that.
A Pulitzer?
He won one of those big awards, a National Book Award.
Pulitzer? That's how you're supposed to say it, says David Lindsay Bear.
Oh, right. I remember that.
A Pulitzer, as in Pulitzer.
So Lawrence Weschler's been on Bullseye a couple times. Really nice guy, really brilliant genius of nonfiction and the world of ideas.
Right.
And I'm on his Cabinet of Wonders email list. Very lovely. Learn interesting things there.
Sure.
One time he sent out a mass email and he accidentally CC'd everyone instead of BCCing everyone. And now if I type CLA into my Gmail, it just brings up Claire Dane's email address. Okay. My beef is with strangers, usually older people, who start to talk to my little girl while she's trying to read. She's not bothering you. She's sitting in the corner, quietly reading. No need to comment about how it's so rare to see a kid reading and that kids these days only know iPhones. Don't interrupt to ask her what she's reading. Definitely don't pat her on the head. Just leave her alone.
First of all, give your child a chair. Don't make them just sit in a corner.
Yeah.
Give them a chair. Or
What is this, me at an AA meeting with my dad?
Give them something comfy to sit in, a reading divan or something like that.
Yeah, get a few homeless vets to talk about the lowest moment in their life.
I wonder where, I would love to know the context of where this is happening in this person's life. I mean, obviously I agree. I mean, these people mean no harm. They just are admiring your child's intelligence and by extension, your good work as a parent. But definitely we should be very clear. Let's not be touching children that we are not related to. A pat on the head, a pinch of the cheek, even if you are an aunt, a beloved aunt or a beliked aunt at least, that doesn't give you the right to pinch a child's cheek or tickle them or whatever. Let's just start respecting kids and their time and their agency.
Bodies, their bodily agency, and consent.
I mean, this guy sounds like a real grumpus to me, but I got to admit he's right. That's what I'm going to say. Grumpus.
I got to tell you, on behalf of all introverted child readers everywhere, which is to say the entire listening base of Judge John Hodgman, absolutely right. Let the child pursue their special interest.
What was your jam? The mixed up files of Mrs. Baisley bathwater or whatever?
First of all, yes. E.L. Konigsberg was my favorite.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
No joke.
I feel like we talked about it, but
I loved. I think I loved Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
The I read all of E.L. Konigsberg's, including. I think my favorite was sort of like liking an artist, the first record, or the deep cut album cut kind of thing. But I liked a historical fiction book called Proud Taste for Scarlet Miniver.
They knew how to title a book back then.
E.L. Konigsberg has one that came out, I think, after I was a child, maybe 1990 or something. That's called Jennifer Heckett something. Jennifer Heckett, Macbeth, William McKinley, and Me. And it's about these two kids. Oh, no, this was before. This is 1967 it was published.
That's music.
This is a book about two kids who are friends. They are an interracial friendship couple that is handled as consequential but not central, just really exactly the way you would wish it would be. Not that other ways of handling it aren't, but it's really great. And it's just about being a different kind of kid in such an extraordinary way. And I read it with my daughter, who's very different. And it was it felt very special to me to get to read it.
I think that's an incredible recommendation. E.L. Konigsberg knew how to title books. Mm-hmm. But speaking about two kids who are friends, I have one of your friends here in the studio, Jesse Thorn. You ready for this?
Don't.
Surprise guest.
Yeah. Let's see.
Boing. Hey, it's Jordan Morris.
Oh,
surprise!
Holy moly!
Happy birthday to
whose birthday is it today? You guys talk for a second while I look.
It's got to be somebody in the chat's birthday, huh?
That's true. It's probably somebody in the chat's birthday.
Now, Jordan, you have the rare distinction of being the co-host of a podcast with both Judge John Hodgman and Bailiff Jesse Thorn.
Oh yeah, I got my finger in so many pies, dude.
You're a regular little Jack Horner.
You two are the pies.
Oh, okay.
Well, the truth is that you're the co-host of the Jordan Jesse Go podcast,
Yes.
which comes out every week. But you and I co-host a podcast which comes out once a year at most.
Yeah, it's a boutique item. It's maybe a pop-up podcast.
Exactly. Limited edition.
Like a sneaker sale or artisanal bagel.
Kids are lined up around the block to get into Shooting the Breeze, our podcast about cheese.
Yes, get your folding chairs and start camping out.
Yeah,
Tyler, the creator, really excited about Shooting the Breeze lately.
Right.
And I'm very, 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 very happy to announce, we had a goal, 1,000 new and upgrading members during the Max Fun Drive would unlock this year's recording of Shooting the Breeze. And we made it. We made our goals. Sometime on Saturday. We passed we breezed past 1,000 easy. We have only you, the listening members, to thank, and to think about. So Jordan, we're gonna do some cheese casting again.
For newer folks, John and I, in our younger days, both worked in the cheese industry.
Yeah, before either of us had beards.
Yeah, right. Pre-beard, Jordan and John both got into the cheese business with cheddar in their eyes, and
stings.
And,
I'd rather you have cheddar in my eyes than Roquefort, I will say. I don't want that blue cheese mold in my eyes. I don't think that's a good idea.
See, this is just the kind of hot take you're going to hear on Shooting the Breeze. John and Jordan's I think this will be the third episode we'll be recording for Max Fun donors or Max Fun members.
Right.
John is known as the Stephen A. Smith of cheese. Just bringing those hot takes all day long. Sorry, sports guy.
That's okay.
Forgot.
Sorry,
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You just like it. You like saying a sports thing and people nodding.
Sure, sports. I got you. Yeah,
cool.
Right, exactly.
Fun.
Not only were we both cheesemongers, but I believe that we discovered, or at least I like to fancy that it's true, because you worked at a cheese shop in Silver Lake, California.
Yes, it's still around. It is called Say Cheese, and I was terrible at it. I don't think I've ever sucked worse at a job than I did at working at Say Cheese.
I know that I went to that cheese shop during the time that you were employed there, and I wonder still to this day.
I wonder.
Perhaps
two cheese ships in the cheese night passing each other.
Who cut my cheese?
Oh, if only. I like, in my head that happened, John. In my head canon.
I just want to say
my own cheese, guys.
to Jeremy, who's hanging around in the studio, I see you there, and I know you have a dispute. We're going to get to you for sure. I just had to make this important announcement. And then I also wanted to say to others, if you have a dispute that you'd like to hear, you can join the conversation just like I brought in Jordan. Go to bit.ly/beef327.
This could be you on the far right.
But Jesse, I had some questions for you. This is a game that I wanted to play. Jordan and I have been working on this game, a game of existential questions for you.
Wow. Okay.
Jesse, you know that I'm a fan of the Disney Plus Star Wars show right?
Yeah, and a wonderful show with Diego Luna.
Yeah, and it's about a spaceman who grants wishes, I believe. And so imagine, if you will, this game is called Not And But Or. Mm-hmm. Imagine, if you will, if the space wizard from Andor came to you and said, I can grant you the wish of your lifetime. And I'm sure we've all got something we'd like to improve in this world, to just make better with the wave of a light wand or whatever they use in the Star Wars. But here's the thing, you're going to have to make a choice. You know how a lot of things go together, like bread and butter or macaroni and cheese? Well, this time you have to choose. For the rest of your life, you can only have one of them in order to have your wish come true.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll start now with bread and butter. Bread or butter, I guess is what I mean to say.
These questions are for me and Jordan. Is that how this works?
Yeah. And then I asked Jordan to come up with some too, and I'll weigh in as well. And if people in the chat want to weigh in, you can go ahead too. And if people in the chat have ideas to pitch for this game, let us know.
So the first one is bread or butter.
Bread or butter.
I mean, a lifetime of butterless bread is terrifying to think of.
Well, it's not just that. You wouldn't even be able to have butter on your pancakes.
Okay, so butter now does not exist. Oh my gosh.
Not for you. It exists only as a temptation.
Oh, but so I can see others enjoying butter.
Yeah, you can.
I can be like a butter voyeur.
Mm-hmm. Would baked goods be made with a different fat, or would I just not be able to eat any baked goods? Like, is this a world where butter does not exist, or is this a world where butter does exist? I'm just not allowed to eat it.
Well, you know, Mama's little bailiff loves shortening. Mama's little bailiff loves shortening bread. Mm-hmm. You could have shortening,
That's right, Mama.
You could spread Crisco.
Crisco on your morning toast.
But what I'm saying is,
no butter. I don't understand why
let's
this
say
is
that
unclear.
let's say that I go to Little Flower Bakery in Eagle Rock.
Okay.
And I order myself a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
Are they going to give me a chocolate chip cookie that that's made with shortening or a different fat? Or are they going to give me a chocolate chip cookie that's made with butter that I'm not allowed to eat?
Oh, if they gave you a shortening, if
There's
they
just
gave
a
you the
picture
chocolate
of you up in the bakery, like someone who
don't give him the butter
tried to cash a
cookies.
bad check.
You can eat non-butter baked goods.
That have butter in.
Okay.
I know what I would choose, and it's not hard.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is. I think we're talking around this. The exercise. This is the intellectual exercise we're doing. But a breadless life would be so difficult. This eliminates sandwiches. This eliminates pizza.
Right.
Does pizza count as bread?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay, then yeah. The butter.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is it's bad any way you slice it. Slice bread.
Mhm.
But I think the bread, getting rid of bread just ruins one's life too much.
Getting rid of bread ruins one's life too much.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what? Go ahead, Jesse.
I really, the only bread that I feel strongly about is like the very highest end of very sour bread.
Mhm.
Like I love a very sour batard of very high quality, but most bread I could take or leave as a general rule. And I'm not a sandwich nut. But so my initial instinct was to say that I wanted to keep butter. But if pizza counts as bread, then yeah, I think it was close before, and I was almost ready to be contrarian, but not if pizza counts as bread.
No, you got to keep the bread, ditch the butter. There's too many good butter substitutes.
Yeah.
And as someone who doesn't enjoy baked goods, it's not for me. All right, here we go. Here's another one. Macaroni and cheese. That's the other one that I thought.
Or keep cheese, lose macaroni. That's easy.
Yeah, that's.
I'm talking about all pasta. That means all pasta goes away.
Yeah, later pasta.
Yeah, sorry.
Why would I want to eat pasta that doesn't have cheese on it?
If there wasn't cheese, we
Great
couldn't do
point.
shooting the breeze, right? So
There you go. It eliminates everyone's favorite podcast. The
Exactly.
podcasting industry collapses.
everyone's favorite annual limited edition podcast.
Right. Okay, I got one.
Okay, hit me.
I know where I'm going on this, but I'm curious where the two of you are going on this.
I love it.
Burgers or fries?
Burgers. No contest.
Keep burgers, lose fries. Is what
Keep
you're saying.
burgers, lose fries.
Yeah, that's where I'm going too. I love a fry, but there's so many other good side dishes. If you're at a diner, get the onion rings, get a side salad, maybe a potato salad, depending on.
Are you talking now? Does fries mean all fried potatoes, like home fries? I mean,
So
there's
yeah,
fries
I
in
think
it, so I guess
to make this more interesting, this also eliminates hash browns, tots, sweet potato, any fry preparation.
You can take that sweet potato fry and throw it in the ocean.
Oh boy,
I don't want them.
Okay, I thought this would be spicier, but yeah.
You know what? You've heard about the global ecological crisis of Plastic Island, the giant mass of plastic that's swirling around in the Pacific Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right next to it is a giant massive. It's called Sweet Potato Island.
Right.
It's all the sweet potato fries that I've thrown in the sea because I hate them.
Gosh, it's an island with a little hint of maple.
The most disgusting fry I've ever had. Okay, but what about potato chips?
Yeah, if that makes this more interesting, we're also getting rid of. I guess this eliminates fried potato.
Fried potatoes.
Fried potato side dishes, so you could have
all
a potato
burgers, right? So like turkey burger.
Yes.
Anything that is described as a burger, even
and
like
and a veggie burger too. I don't know if that changes anybody's thinking, but yeah.
And
I just want
anyone
to point
from
out that our
Hamburg.
friend Llama over there in Reading, England, loves sweet potato fries.
It's going to
the
be
first time
like
I've ever disagreed with Llama. Sorry,
I have the cold take that they're a nice change of pace occasionally.
I don't care for it.
Not my preferred fry.
care for
Never. You never even want to.
This is a tough one for me.
To me, this is
Do
easy.
you want to have a couple, John?
What'd you say?
If I get some, will you have a few?
Of your sweet potato fries?
Yeah.
Not one.
Okay.
Not interested.
All
No.
right.
No good.
Hard
Sorry.
line.
For me, it comes down to the question of the same as the bread question, which is what is the point of being American if not? And to me, if I can't have a cheeseburger, I might as well be Belgian or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm out. If I can't have a slice of pizza or a cheeseburger, those are the best foods overall.
I can't fathom a life without fried potatoes.
Wow.
I think I have.
I really hate this one.
Okay.
I hate this
hold
one.
on.
I
Hold
hate
on.
it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to say goodbye to the burgers.
You're a breakfast king,
Is Chip
right,
the
John?
thing that did
I'm a
it?
breakfast king. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I love a breakfast more than a burger. I go months and months without having a hamburger of any kind, but a French fry. Yeah, that's just where I'm at.
What are you having them
It's
with?
all personal.
If you're not having, what are you just getting a basket of fries with another meal?
Yeah, of course. I'll get fries any old time. Sometimes I just get fries.
Okay.
You know what else I get fries with? Fried clams.
Okay.
What about
Chips, sure.
what about fish or chips?
Yeah, that's.
Would you give up all fish in order to keep your
Yeah.
fried potatoes?
I would love the dish fish and chips.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other fish things I like, but for the most part, I don't eat a ton of fish.
Don't eat a ton of fish.
It's the way in which my palate is the most baby-like is its interest in fish. Yeah, so I think unfortunately I'll have to get rid of that pretty sustainable, healthy protein that I probably should be eating more of for those nummy fries.
Fish is gross to me. I'm with Jordan.
I know. It's a sometimes food for me. Sometimes I really, really love it, and sometimes
God, I wish I could just like that plank of
guess-
salmon people get.
I guess it's terrible.
I agree with you, Jordan.
I would love to. I would love to like that.
Have you ever had a miso glazed salmon?
That's the kind of thing I want to want. I want to want that.
You want some miso glazed salmon?
Yeah,
Well,
I would love to. Yeah, that'd be cool. I just don't want it.
Next time we see each other at the Beard Club,
We'll tie our
I'll
beards
make you.
together.
Yeah, I'm gonna add Jeremy to the stream because he's been waiting around. He's got some dispute about Spotify playlists, but I want to hear his answer to this one. Jeremy, are you there?
Hello.
Hello, Jeremy. How are you? Welcome to the open court of Judge John Hodgman.
Thank you very much.
I'm going
Jeremy
to ask
just
you
got back from Dan Flashes.
where are you beaming in from, Jeremy?
Winter Garden, Florida, just outside of Orlando.
Winter Garden, Florida, just outside of Orlando. Do you work for the Mouse?
Indeed, I do.
I had a feeling. What do you do?
I work with ride safety.
So
Here we
removing
go.
So
spikes,
important.
that kind of
Almost a
thing.
legitimate spit
important.
take there.
So
Almost
important.
a legitimate spit take. You work with
Before you,
ride
people were
safety.
dying on the rides.
No, we're not. We can't talk about that.
Oh right, okay.
We can't talk about that.
Jeremy,
what-
thank you for taking the time to call in from your Barca Lounger. It looks like.
I think
Yeah.
Jeremy is living the life. He's working for a theme park, making sure people live on the rides. He's in Winter Park, Florida, keeping it
Relaxing
real.
and relaxing.
What's
In
a ride?
Florida-
What's a ride? What is your job entail? Give me a day in the life of Jeremy.
So I go and I visit the attractions.
Yes.
They're all following the right procedures and they're doing their job the right way. And what I tell people that I went to high school with, and which is true, but I tell them that I go ride rides at Disney World for a living.
Yeah.
So if I go to like a high school reunion, it's, they're like, oh, I work in a dentist's office. I'm like, yeah, I ride the Disney rides for a living. It's pretty good.
Now, when you go in and you check up on things there, like do the ride operators consider you to be the ride cop? Are they like trying to push the envelope a little bit? Like let's just make these pirate boats go a little faster, give them a little more fun, and you're there going and you write them a ticket, or is the relationship pretty good?
I think it's pretty good overall.
Yeah.
Even at Disney World, though, it's carnival folk, right?
I mean,
They're cast members. They are cast members. These
Yeah, they're
people
clean- play about
clean cut
A
kids.
shady carnival.
We at the Beard Club, we couldn't work at Disney World, right, Jeremy?
Oh no, now you can. Yeah.
Now we can.
Yes.
Okay, get us
We
jobs.
can't play for the New York Yankees, John.
Can you get us all jobs testing rides? I think I'd
love,
leave my family for that.
I would love that. Come on down.
Okay, thank you. I have a question for you, Jeremy, and for all of our panelists. The game is called Andor, based on the famous space wizard Andor who grants wishes from Star Wars land. You must know him because you work on the Galaxy's Edge over there.
Yeah.
Of course.
All the kids want their picture with Aunt Cassie and Andor.
Two great things that go great together, we all know, are chocolate and peanut butter. But what if you were forced to pick one, chocolate or peanut butter, for the rest of your life? You could only have chocolate or peanut butter. Jeremy, do you have an intuitive answer, or do you want a second to think about it?
I am so tempted to pick peanut butter,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I have to pick chocolate.
Why are you tempted to pick peanut butter?
I think it's that peanut butter makes chocolate so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I like Buckeyes or like Reese's peanut butter cups or things like that. Those are my favorite treats.
Any way you slice it to get your wish,
yeah,
you're gonna have to eliminate that stuff. There's no more Reese's peanut butter cups.
And as I think about it, like, I enjoy the peanut butter that goes with the chocolate, but I enjoy more things that are chocolate specific that don't include peanut butter. So I think it'd be a net loss if I picked peanut butter over chocolate.
All right, you make a good case for chocolate. Before we get to the final ruling, let's go to Jordan Morris. What's your take?
Point of clarification: is this eliminating all nut butters?
No.
Okay, just peanut butter.
The peanut butter. Until Reese's comes out with an almond butter cup.
I think they do. I think that exists.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, maybe there's
Jesse Thorn,
almond butter
can you confirm that?
Snickers.
I believe that's correct.
Oh wow.
Okay.
All right. The no almond butter.
You know, I had a gut reaction to this, and it surprised me. I think I gotta kick chocolate to the curb. I guess I just don't love chocolate in that I love chocolate way.
Right.
And I think I do love peanut butter like that. And I think there's a lot of desserts I can be happy with, but I think I would miss the peanut butter ones more.
Mm-hmm.
And just peanut butter on toast in the AM.
Peanut butter on toast, particularly if you're getting rid of butter. And you know what I mean?
What am I
But
spreading?
although these things are not contingent upon each other.
I got a spread, Judge.
Yeah, you're a spreader. I'm
a spreader, a super spreader.
Jesse Thorn, you got one for me?
Well, you know that
for you?
You know, chocolate is a migraine trigger for me. I have to avoid it. It would be brutal to give up the little chocolatey things that I have, such as the occasional Reese's peanut butter cup, or the It's It, my favorite treat, which has a chocolate shell. I don't think there's a lot of chocolate in that chocolate shell, to be frank with you.
Yep.
But I think I would have to pick peanut butter. And besides loving peanut butter desserts, which are sort of the only substitute really for chocolate desserts, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of status, I don't love fruit desserts. I like them fine. But to me, a peanut butter ice cream or something like that, peanut butter and butterscotch or caramel, is the only thing that hits the chocolate ice cream notes for me. I do love chocolate. I also eat peanut butter for breakfast. I have lately been eating overnight oats.
Sure.
With that kind of powdered peanut butter.
I've been hearing about it a lot on podcasts recently.
There's a
powdered peanut butter. You know about this, Jeremy?
Butter.
I have not heard of the powdered peanut butter.
Powdered peanut butter. PB Fit, they call it.
Yeah, and I dump that in there and a little bit of regular peanut butter for textural reasons, and some chia seeds and oats and milk, and that's my breakfast. Love it.
So your final ruling is? Final answer?
I'm keeping peanut butter. Sorry, chocolate.
The peanut butter.
Now that is a surprising result as far as I'm concerned. The peanut butter would win 2-3.
Speaking of surprises, here comes a surprise panelist. Janet Varney, what's your answer?
Hey, everybody.
My gosh, look at this.
I've been nodding so vigorously behind the scenes.
Across the country.
It has been, I honestly, there was a point at which I was like, I'm hurting myself. Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
Yeah, Janet.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, so Jeremy, it's Janet Varney, the host of the JV Club on the Max Fun Network.
Friends.
Which by the way, look at this cool. Oh, and she does have human eyes.
Wow, it's that person we thought it was.
It's the Max Fun Drive, everybody, and we're in week 2 of the Max Fun Drive. We've been having a really fun Max Fun Drive so far, and we've got several more days. We've already reached our goal for Judge John Hodgman of 1,000 new and upgrading members, unlocking the Shooting the Breeze podcast that Jordan and I are going to do. And Janet Varney, you got a goal for the JV Club, right? And if we hit it, we're going to do something. Why don't you tell us about that?
I will. It's such a wee and simple goal. I know we're going to hit it. Of course we're going to hit it. But I don't want everyone else to think, oh, they're going to hit it, so I don't have to be a part of it. You need to be a part. It's just 125 new subscribers for the JV Club.
125.
125. Simple as that. We're getting close. We're not there yet. I can't believe I'm saying it. It's been a week. We're not there yet. Times are tough. I know everybody's going to jump on board and make it happen. But because I am joined, because you were letting me join this live stream, I did come up with
letting you. It's our privilege that you're here.
Well, I thank you.
And I should know I have a lot of privilege.
Sir. And
I know from
you.
privilege.
Yeah. But I thought while I had a second and an audience, and this happened literally 5 minutes before I jumped on, I thought, you know what would be fun is if our wonderful Max Fun Drive director, April, is going to start tracking the most recent JV Club. Like, make sure you include the JV Club when you upgrade or join in the next even 20 minutes. But it doesn't even matter. It can extend beyond here. The next 20 people who choose JV Club, if they would like it, I have drawn the state seal and motto. And I used Christina on Twitter, who responded to Hodgman's and my post about it.
Making you a little bit bigger there.
She said, please help me understand Marilyn's. It seems like it says masculine deeds and feminine words, and we were offended. So I've drawn her child shrugging, looking confused and upset. I've drawn her also feeling confused and upset. That's the state seal of Maryland. She's holding a book. And what they say is it's strong deeds, gentle words. But I will do a version of this. It can have your state seal. It can have, and this is the state of your choosing, friends. It can have the motto. It can have the bird. It can have the tree. I'm a terrible artist, but I will sign this, and I will make sure that John Hodgman signs it. We will get a beautiful hand-drawn colored pencil illustration for the next 20 people who include JV Club as part of their wonderful support, along with all these other wonderful podcasts we've been talking about. You have the option of a hand-drawn, signed state motto art. I mean, it's art. Let's face it, straight up art.
It's original art.
It's
now, let me understand.
Artisanal art.
Let me understand in this alternate universe of version of QVC that we're hosting.
Yeah.
If you go now to MaximumFun.org/join.
Yes.
If you are not yet a member and you join,
yes,
and you list JV Club as one of the podcasts you're supporting,
yes,
or if you are a member and you upgrade or even boost your membership by $5 a month or whatever,
yes,
if you're one of the next 20 people to do this, you're going to get a piece of hand-drawn art representing the state seal, Janet Varney's. Sorry,
Jordan, can you draw it all?
Hey, if it'll help our numbers, I can draw almost as good as that.
My 6-year-old has been dictating ideas for new Calvin and Hobbes comic strips to my wife because she found out that there's no new Calvin and Hobbes being made and was pretty offended by that idea.
And Watterson, get off your ass.
Yeah, and Frankie
the laziest cartoonist around.
Well known. Yes. Well known.
Well, I don't know why Mr. Dilbert is eating poop out here in the streets.
Yeah.
At least he's pumping out the work.
That's
some of the funniest.
What would you say?
Funniest.
What would you say Mr. Dilbert is eating in the sheets? That's the real question.
I hope it's poop. I hope it's poop wherever he is.
If I had to give up poop or peanut butter,
oh my God!
I would give up poop.
Make me choose.
Yeah.
I know.
Frankie has been forcing my wife to do the illustrations, and frankly, I was impressed by the quality of my wife's Calvin and Hobbes drawings.
I'm not surprised to hear that at all.
Didn't know she had it in her, but she did.
For the next person that donates, I should say, for the next person that joins at MaximumFun.org/joins and puts the JV Club and Jordan Jesse Go and Judge John Hodgman,
Yes.
I will do a drawing of Dilbert creator Scott Adams eating poop.
Wow.
That is very cool.
In the style of Dilbert or in
the
your own
style
style?
of Janet Varney's
Okay.
state seal.
And I would like to add to that. For the next 5 beyond that, so we're at now getting up to 30. We got 20. We got to get to 25 for Jordan. We got to get to 30 for me. I will draw a drawing of Jordan drawing the Dilbert eating poop creator.
Big promises.
That we're starting to get so meta, but I will draw that drawing and send it to someone.
I have something to offer here.
Great.
And I'm going to do this Maryland style. For the next 25
Throw some Old
people,
Bay seasoning on it.
For the next 25 people, who don't go to MaximumFun.org/join, and I want you to note my tone of speech here.
Yeah.
Very
Swift kick in the nuts.
No.
Okay.
Wow.
He
They're
said
gonna
it very
catch in the
gently.
jewels. They're going to
Said
catch
it
in the
very
jewels.
gently, but a very masculine, very
be a
creepy,
very
deed.
strong
very masculine
Very
related
strong
deed,
action.
both for the receiver
Looking
and the
forward.
giver.
Jeremy, what are
Very
you going to do? That's the real Jeremy still
How are you going to
here.
help this operation?
Jeremy, what are you going to draw or kick?
Yeah, I mean, poor
Great.
Jeremy's gotten a front row seat to our weird bickering.
You know what I think Jeremy should do? He
Rena,
should take the speed regulator off something at Disney World for us.
There you go.
Jeremy, did you
I bet
have
you can make it
justice
through the
that you
Haunted
sought?
Mansion in 45 seconds.
Jeremy, were you seeking justice? Is that why you joined us 20 minutes ago?
I think so.
Yeah. What justice did you seek?
Okay, so are you familiar with the website setlist.fm?
Oh, just like all my other Dave Matthews fans, of course.
Of course. So
Well, how do I track what Dylan's doing on tour? Absolutely.
So I attended a concert by one of my favorites, an artist named Grace Potter.
I should say setlist.fm is a community-driven website that lists what songs performers perform live in concert. It's especially popular among people who, I mean, it's popular among all kinds of live music fans, but doubly so among fans of bands that do a lot of interesting covers and live performances that are distinctive from, your
Okay.
Fishes and your...
I got it. Okay, I understand. Go ahead, Jeremy.
So in this concert, she did a lot of cover songs. She really just it was one of those first COVID shows, as we were all coming back out. And she really said, like, hey, tell me what you want to hear, whether it's my song or not. I'd love to play it.
Wait a minute, you're in Florida, right? So this is one of those first post-COVID shows that were in April of 2020?
This was at a biker rally, right?
Well,
The year-round spring break that is Florida.
It was one of those first COVID shows in the sense that she went on stage and says, who has their first case of COVID out here?
All right, we're touching
No,
we're
we
touching
love-
a
we love
hot
Grace
oven
Potter.
here. We're touching
Yeah.
touching
We
a hot
love
oven
the
here.
beautiful state of Florida. I've always wanted to visit Gainesville.
Florida's got some stuff to get together. Let's all agree about that.
Sure do. We sure do.
And I know that you're in that. So we'll take our hands away from that hot stove for a moment.
Yeah. So
Focus
she's
it back
taking
on
requests. She's
Jeremy.
saying, hey, what do you want to hear? I'm Grace Potter. I
Grace
love my
Potter.
fans.
All right,
What do you wanna hear?
setlist.fm. What's the problem? What's your beef? What's the issue?
So a couple of the songs she played that night were covers from other artists.
Yeah.
2 of them in particular, I Love Rock and Roll.
Like Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Well, that's where we're going with this.
Okay.
It's and then another was Black Magic Woman. So I put the set list on setlist.fm and attributed them to Joan Jett and the Blackhearts and Carlos Santana.
Carlos Santana, Black Magic Woman.
And there's another contributor who keeps changing them to the Arrows and Fleetwood Mac.
What?
Yeah. So
Are they the original artists for those songs?
they are the original artists of those
I
songs.
didn't know that Joan Jett's
Whoa.
I Love Rock and Roll was a cover. That must be the Arrows,
Also
right?
did not.
Yeah.
I've
Now,
never
I
heard
have
of
a
the Arrows.
question.
Is that bad?
I
You've
don't
heard of
think...
the Arrows, Janet?
No, I never have. I
No,
feel
don't.
terrible.
No, I'm sure. Well, I'm going to look them up. You talk, Jesse, while I look them up.
My question is, are any of these the songwriters of the songs, or are they just the first recording artists who
Great
recorded
question.
the songs.
Great question.
Great clarifying question.
So I can tell you that I Love Rock and Roll is a rock song written by Alan Merrill and Jake Hooker and first recorded by the Arrows, a British rock band that included Alan Merrill and Jake Hooker in it. So yes.
Okay, so that's safe. That's a safe credit to give. They were in the band and wrote.
Yeah. And then
Black Magic Woman?
Black Magic Woman. Jeez, am I the only one?
That's another big
Wikipedia?
shock to me. I would have been so confident that that was written by Carlos Santana.
I did not know that was a Fleetwood Mac song.
I initially had assumed it was an error because she also performed Gold Dust Woman by Fleetwood Mac. And this individual, this mystery internet man, woman, whoever,
Right.
kept changing it back every time I would change it to the artist who popularized the song, as opposed to who apparently wrote the song, or at least initially recorded.
So-
How much back and forth has gone on here? How many times have you changed it only to have it changed back by this editor?
I think we're at 4 volleys.
Okay. Okay. 4 healthy volleys.
Okay, yeah,
Nothing wrong
that's a
with
lot.
that.
Black Magic Woman is a song written by British musician Peter Green,
Hold
which
on.
first appeared as a single for his band Fleetwood Mac. Peter Green, Fleetwood Mac has had a lot of members, and Peter Green was a founding member, but not one of the ones you often think of.
Okay.
Not one of the Micks or the Christines or the Johns or the Stevies or the Lindsays.
Let me add this because I'm looking at the Wikipedia article here for Black Magic Woman. Obviously, I had no idea that Peter Green of Fleetwood Mac wrote this song either.
I don't know.
This is one of these classic British rock and roll guys semi-rips off American blues artist songs, apparently.
Yeah.
It says that he has acknowledged that it was deeply musically influenced by All Your Love by Otis Rush. So I say, Jeremy,
deeply musically influenced is a great way of saying you
Right.
Jeremy, yeah, I say end around this thing, undercut everyone, and just put Otis Rush.
I love it.
Wow.
Quick
For
question,
every
Jesse.
song on the playlist.
Out
What-
pedant, even the pedant.
Mhm.
While you're on there, is there a link to Gold Dust Woman, and is there a link to a very unpopular Fleetwood Mac song that actually I know inspired some of your oatmeal choices? Peanut Butter Dust Man. Peanut Butter Dust Man,
Yes. Wow.
aka the Jesse
Wow.
Thorn song.
Ooh,
Bring it
Buckingham.
back
Any
around.
link to that?
Janet,
Are you
on your
seeing any link
page
to that,
is
friend?
there a link to Long and Winding Road?
Yes,
Ugh.
and I claim credit for it, having been
Buckingham
deeply
was on so
influenced
much
by
coke.
the Beatles.
I have to say, Jeremy, that I am no fan of the pedant in this life. And yet I appreciate to a degree. I've never heard of the Arrows, and I'm sure a lot of Fleetwood Mackies are going to be mad at me. I'd never heard of Peter Green in my life. Never would have associated that person with Fleetwood Mac, even though he's one of the founding members. I think that there's something to what this person is doing in terms of making sure people are getting their due for writing these songs, including the deep musical influence of Otis Rush. I mean, you know how I feel. You know the Star Wars show Andor, Jeremy?
Uh-huh.
You know, I have a tagline for this show that I think they should use, which is Andor, why not both?
Mhm.
Why not all of it? Give all more information is better. As my woodworking instructor in 4th grade, Mr. Dewart, said, reveal everything that you know. Show them everything that you know when you are taking a test or writing an essay. I don't know why in woodworking that came up, but anyway, like you should annotate it and credit everybody who's involved with that song, because you can't erase Joan Jett. She's the greatest, but you don't want to erase the Arrows either.
Is this where a slash needs to be used? A thoughtful and respectful slash, like
so.
Joan Jett slash
I would
Ridge,
also-
the Arrows or something?
I would also
first
recommend-
yeah.
I would also recommend listing all the members of Fleetwood Mac. So not just Peter Green, but Mick Fleetwood,
Right.
Stevie Nicks, Big Mac Tonight, Lindsey Buckingham,
Right.
all the big ones.
And I think
Kermit
this
the
is
Frog was in Fleetwood Mac for a while.
Oh yeah,
John
him
Denver,
and,
Paul
him and
Williams.
Christine
The
had a
Frog
very
from Frog and
turbulent
Toad? I
relationship.
love those books.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Frog or Toad.
Yeah.
Frog. You know
Why not both?
You
Why
know,
not
well,
both?
that's because the name of the game is not and but or.
Right. Dr. Teeth.
Wait a minute, Janet,
For
did
a
you rule
while.
in on peanut butter or chocolate?
That's where I was going with. I almost gave myself whiplash from vigorously nodding in favor of peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Dust
correct
or
answer.
otherwise.
Something
I'll
I
tell you
like.
why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I love chocolate. I don't like sweets. I do love chocolate. A dark chocolate is a wonderful thing.
Yes, agreed.
But I have peanut butter is a big part of my life, and every time
Same.
I really want a sweet, and this means I have to give up my beloved whatchamacallit bar, which I do enjoy, but I don't have to give up the Zagnut because there's no chocolate in the Zagnut. Did you know that,
Smart.
Jeremy?
Nougat.
Go take
Nougat.
take the word over there to Disney World. No chocolate in the Zagnut. Peanut butter and toasted coconut.
I'm disturbed that I said nougat so loud I heard it echo on one of your computers, and I've only heard that happen once in this conversation. It was when I shouted nougat.
They say due to chaos theory that when Janet Varney says nougat loud enough, a monsoon will happen in Brooklyn and the skies are darkening.
Here
right
it
now.
comes.
Would you guys say the 1970s were the golden age of huge bands with a miscellaneous list of lead singers? Because Santana has like seven different lead singers.
Yeah.
Kool and the Gang didn't even bother to have a lead singer until like 1980 and had like 7 hits before they had a lead singer. Tower of Power had like 5 different lead singers. So many of these
Chicago
bands,
obviously has a both pre and post Peter
Right.
Cetera.
It was
Yep.
a time when you could build a band around a famous drummer.
yeah.
Genesis.
Everyone loves our drummer. Yeah.
But Genesis started in the 70s, right? When Peter Gabriel was making them do weird rock opera stuff that
Right.
I respect to this day.
And Phil Collins is like, put me up front. I'm the drummer and the singer. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out
And
of here with your
then
weird
that's music
outfit.
you like less than respect. You can actually like it instead of just respecting it.
Jeremy, do you have space to annotate all of the creators of the song, or is it just, are there certain fields that you are allowed to fill in?
As I recall, you put in the name of the song and it searched some sort of a database to say, oh, you probably mean this. But there must be a way to put in songs that it doesn't understand or doesn't know of yet. So I'm sure I could create a new Black Magic Woman and attribute it to both Fleetwood Mac /
Oh, yeah. You could just enter, like, add a separate song, in other words.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
I
if
think
there's
there's
a
a way-
database and there's no way to put in the songwriter, then I'm with you, Jeremy, and you just put in the hit recording artist. That's my feeling about it.
I think this is an interesting case of like the internet is such a bad place for tone, because I think that we're all imagining the person who's annotating this or the person who's changing this as being the most annoying, sweaty guy who corners you at a party and wants you to know
An actually guy.
But I mean, I am genuinely interested that those songs were written by the Arrows and Fleetwood Mac respectively. So yeah, I think if there's a fun way to do this where we all learn some facts about our favorite
I was glad to have
musician,
learned something.
it's fun. But yeah, if there's a way to I wish there was a way on the internet to communicate. I'm letting you know this in a friendly and fun way, and not I'm screaming in your face because you got a trivia thing wrong. Anyway, we need an emoji for that.
I think just go in there and change them all to Engelbert Humperdinck.
Jeremy, thank you very much. Do you have a and not or but and game that you want to pitch to us? 2 great things that go great together. We have to choose in order to save the world or whatever.
So I'm a huge Muppet fan.
Here we go.
I like where this is going. but I'm
Statler
scared.
or Waldorf.
No, that's a one. Say classic Muppets or Sesame Street characters.
Oh.
Oh. Well, what about all the crossover?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. This is.
I mean, if you
this is
choose
a little
Kermit, you're
expansion
covered.
Of the concept, yeah. But you're talking as a group. You're talking Muppet Show cast of Muppets or Sesame Street cast of Muppets. There can only be one.
And the
the
losers are thrown in a
fiend, Jeremy, a fiend.
the losers are thrown into a fire, and we have to watch, right?
Yeah.
As these beloved characters burn.
It sort of burns, sort of melt, Jordan.
Right. Yeah, their eyes just melting. Their plastic eyes.
Holy
I mean, I
moly.
have my answer.
I do too.
Really?
I can't believe how fast I made that decision, but it was actually, I'm surprised at how fast, but it was fast.
What's your answer, Janet?
Is everyone locked in?
Yeah.
Is everyone locked? Before you say anything, is everyone locked in? All right. And Jeremy, you have your answer locked in?
Indeed, I do.
All right. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and we'll all say simultaneously which we will keep, Muppet Show or Sesame Street, for the Muppet characters in each of those. Right? 1, 2, 3, Muppet.
The Muppet
Sesame
Show.
Street.
All right. I think Janet, Jordan, and Judge John Hodgman all said Muppet Show. Jesse said Sesame Street. Jeremy, what are you going to tell me? I missed it. I couldn't hear it.
Muppet Show as well.
Oh, wow. Jesse.
Jeremy's hewing to the corporate line here.
That's us, corporates.
I mean, it's a horrible Sophie's choice situation.
I mean, yeah, it is. It is. It's
We
bad
all
enough.
must have our own personal reason, maybe one song or one character
Sure.
to justify it. Let's go around the horn. I'm going to say it's Gonzo singing that sad song in the Muppet Show.
Maybe my
yeah.
favorite song
Yeah.
of all time.
I don't even remember.
There's
the name
not a
of it.
word yet for old friends who've
Just
just met.
just
That's one
met,
of the
yeah.
best lyrics in the history of songwriting.
Just
Oh, really?
goosebumps.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could live without the Muppet Show is the thing. All right, but so that's mine. Janet, tell Jesse Thorn why you destroyed his beloved Big Bird and Ernie. And Bert.
Here's the thing. For the reason you just said, John Hodgman, but
Yeah.
also I worry about the anxiety level of many of the Sesame Street characters looking back. I love them, but I feel like they've been stressed a really long time, and I feel like
This is
I'm
for their
taking
good. This
I'm
is for their
taking care
good.
of them by keeping the slightly less anxious Muppet Show
Wow.
characters going. And I'm okay without Elmo. I'm so sorry, Elmo. I'm so sorry, Elmo, but I am okay without Elmo if it means we
Yeah.
keep Gonzo.
I'm not rolling my eyes at you, Janet. I'm rolling my eyes at the suggestion that Fraggle Rock is the one to keep. Give me a break.
No,
That
I
is
was just
the-
saying that
I think that's a separate
DW Dyer is
conversation.
watching. The Fraggles are watching us discuss who lives and dies, and they're just quietly backing out of the room like we're not a part of this.
The labyrinth characters. What? No,
So
we're
you
fine.
didn't choose.
No.
You didn't choose in favor of a particular Muppet. You chose against the Sesame Street characters. You wanted.
I
to,
chose for the Sesame Street characters
It's time for them
that
to
the
take a
Muppet
rest.
Show.
We're releasing them from the hell in which they
Yeah.
exist.
I worried about them as a kid. I was very worried about
Yeah.
many of those characters all the time.
You didn't
Jeremy?
identify with them because of their.
I identified with them too much, and
Too
that's why I
much
was so worried about
identification.
them.
Yeah,
I
we
was
don't like
so
a-
worried about
We don't like
Big
a
Bird
mirror held up in that
and
way.
Grover. Yeah, I was worried.
Yeah, I mean, we keep Kermit either way, but Grover's the one that really hurts for me.
It hurts. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
Really, really hard.
Monster
really
at the end
hard.
of this book. Classic
incredible.
gag.
I
Still
know.
funny.
Jeremy, you.
I
picked
can't. I
the
mean, I
Muppet
hate
Show.
myself. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
hate
no,
myself.
no, this is
but-
terrible. This is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
terrible. We got.
We wouldn't suggest otherwise, Janet. Don't
Thank
worry.
you. Thank you.
What about Jeremy? Why did you pick the Muppet Show? Is there one thing, one character, one reason?
I think the topper is the Swedish Chef.
Wow! Out of nowhere, out of left field.
Just
You
the most
you
ridiculous.
throw Grover in a fire for the Swedish Chef.
To watch
How
him
dare
melt
you.
and burn at the same time.
Like Big Bird, and Mr. Snuffleupagus are sent packing from Sesame Street, and because the Swedish Chef is going to go Bjork, Bjork, Bork. Is that what you're saying?
Can I ask you a question, Jeremy? Did you kill Mr. Hooper?
Wow, dark.
I did
Oh.
not. No.
Look.
Accusation.
People like what they like. I understand. And Baldy 3 points out Swedish Chef was the only Muppet who showed his human hands.
Wait, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I
You
think
got to. You're a
I-
chef. You got to be able to
That's
make
the
a
whole
bunch of stuff.
I think more
Surely.
recently they've been putting Muppet hands on them, but in the original episodes it was always a little disturbing because he had real human meat hands, and of course one of those hands don't belong to the same body
Right.
because Jim Henson, who did the The Swedish Chef was operating one hand and the thing. I can't figure out how you.
Even
do it,
as
but you
you're
know what I'm
doing
saying.
that, it's starting to seem like those aren't your hands. That's how convincing of a story you're telling. It feels like someone's
Has John
coming
been a
in
Muppet this
from
whole
closer to
time?
the camera. Yeah.
Is John operated just by 3 guys
Oh,
under
no.
a sheet?
We killed Grover. Again, you can support the podcast we've been talking about and the great network at Maximum
Jesse's
Fun.
gonna bring it.
Join.
Jesse's gonna bring it back around. Jordan, real quick, why the Muppet Show? Why'd you pick that?
Again, difficult choice. Monster
Very
at the
hard.
end of this book. Oscar still very funny. Great Twitter presence. Oscar the Grouch. 2 words. Mana.
Do,
Phenomena,
my
everybody.
Okay.
Do.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I take
Sorry.
it all back. You at least picked a classic character instead of one sketch.
Mhm.
All right, Jesse Thorn, you love Sesame Street.
Save us all, Jesse. Save
You
us
love
all.
Sesame Street. You love public television. You love public radio. You love the listener-supported model of media, which is the Maximum Fun Network and the whole point of the Max Fun Drive. Preach to us. Why Sesame Street? Why MaximumFun.org/join? Why now?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I have no ill words to say about your standard Muppets. I think the standard Muppets are a beautiful, incredible, hilarious thing. There are a few children's films I would rather watch than the Muppet movie. I don't have an intense association with the Muppet Show, which was not on television when I was a kid, or at least not on broadcast television. I didn't have cable. So, I've seen episodes, but I haven't seen that many. But certainly I watched all of the movies as a kid and loved them. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, as a neglected child who was raised by public television primarily, I might even have chosen like Square One or The Voyage of the Mimi, like any public television program that was running while I was, sitting at home while one of my parents worked or whatever. But yeah, I think ultimately the tiebreaker for me is that while all of the Muppets have an extraordinary depth of feeling, considering that they are comedy puppets, and in the case of Sesame Street, like, educational comedy puppets, I think that I identified very deeply with the sort of developmental emotions and states of the various Sesame Street Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
That each of them was really a way of honoring a place in a child's life in a way that was very valuable to me. And also, I think I probably learned to read from watching Sesame Street. So both of those are immensely consequential. And I also think that, while I think any adult would be glad to release Elmo into the pyre of burn melt, I think that, like, as an adult, I just I appreciate the other characters on Sesame Street perhaps even more now. Like, my depth of connection with Bert and Ernie
I know.
has really only grown. My connection with Grover was always extraordinary.
Yeah.
But even
I was a Guy Smiley man.
Yeah, I mean, even Guy
That's
Smiley
slick.
or Placido Flamingo. But yeah, I think ultimately for me, the thing that changes it is that kind of depth of emotional connection that I had as a child,
Jesse,
that I now can recognize as these characters representing both my emotional states and my developmental states in a way that I didn't necessarily get in such an honest and caring way anywhere else besides maybe Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
And I think that of course, reflects the values of audience-supported media, right? You have to do something that is really meaningful and impactful in order to get people to support you voluntarily, which is what we try and do here at Maximum Fun.
Hang on one second, Jesse. Janet, Jeremy, Jordan, listen to this guy bring it around. He's incredible. This segue's incredible.
I'm already about
want
to
you to-
cry, and I'm not even kidding.
I want you to watch. This is how they do it professionally. All right.
I'm
ahead,
gonna
Jesse.
join for Grover, and I'm gonna join for Big Bird. And
No,
he
speak
ran
from the
away,
heart.
and they painted him blue, and I'm gonna join and get the bonus content. Go.
In all sincerity, I do really believe in audience-supported media, which is why Maximum Fun is audience-supported. I think that when our primary responsibility is to the audience, that is the most meaningful thing. I think probably people here have seen, yes, Lama, you're of course correct. Shout out to the Pointer Sisters.
Yeah.
They didn't need
Great
a variety
song.
of lead singers, although they traded lead singing responsibilities between the three of them. But yeah, I think that when your responsibility is ultimately to the audience, that's when you can really invest in whether you are affecting the audience's life in a positive way rather than simply trying to grab their attention. And I think that that is what we have tried to do at Maximum Fun, to even in our silly nonsense, even in me and Jordan, literally, I mean, Jordan and I, someone identified this in a really sweet letter that we read during Pledge Break the other day. They identified the ways that Jordan Jesse Go had touched their lives deeply and how remarkable that was, given that we had spent several weeks trying to determine how long it would take to fill one of those metal milkshake cups with human semen.
Okay.
Human, okay?
Yeah, human. So I really believe in this. I really think that touching people's lives in a meaningful way is our goal, even in the silliest and goofiest nonsense. And I also think that, there's this legendary video of Mr. Rogers speaking before Congress when the Public Broadcasting Act was brand new and under threat. And he talks about the ways that public television cares for children in a way that it doesn't, that other forms of television don't. And, we're not making our shows for children, generally speaking, although certainly a lot of kids used to listen to Judge John Hodgman until I described that thing that happened on Jordan Jesse Go. But I do think that, especially
content grows with you.
Yeah. especially right now when the world has been so upside down the last few years, certainly for me, but for probably most of the people watching this right now. One of our goals has been to do our best to take care of our audience. And, Janet's show talks about the pains and travails of adolescence in a way that is completely life-affirming. John, I think you try and bring some decency and wisdom and a sort of sense of curiosity and empathy towards others. Jeremy, of course, you work at Disney World, so a lot of people would die on the Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever.
Yeah, you're serving your audience.
If you don't bolt the pirates' feet to the ground, they will attack
These pirates are nasty. I mean, these are some nasty buccaneers.
Salty old salts.
Anyway, that is as much as I end up leavening it with vulgarity. That is a very sincere goal of Max Fun, and I bet that many people watching this are already members. But if you're not, MaximumFun.org/join is the place to do it.
Now, Jeremy, you've enjoyed this show from a front row seat. We're really glad that you were here. A very wonderful, comfy-looking front row seat. Is it a recliner? Yes or no?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic.
Recline. Let's see it. See it.
Go all the way.
Oh. Yeah,
buddy.
Drop it like it's hot, baby.
Wait, what shirt are you wearing, Jeremy? Did I miss this because I joined late? Are you wearing a Haunted Mansion pattern
it is
shirt?
a Haunted Mansion pattern shirt.
That Raleigh Crump designed?
Oh, Raleigh Crump, R.I.P. But
yeah.
This is actually the Muppets as the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, brilliant.
Wow.
That's
Crossover.
So cool. That's the coolest shirt of all time. That's
Why
awesome.
not both? Why not both?
I love it. Why not both?
Do you think Jeremy might have just become king of the cozy goths?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to wait until Cozy GothCon at Labor Day. Yeah. Jeremy, I'm going to just ask you a question. And I hope you are. Are you a member of Maximum Fun?
Indeed, I am.
Fantastic.
Jeremy.
Thank you very much.
God,
for
that
your
would be
support.
weird. Wouldn't it be so weird if he weren't that it would almost be cool?
Yeah.
He just put this the bird and said, "I'm
Yeah.
out."
I have
I'm
a
more of a
And then
Rogan
you
guy.
Yeah.
Stare out of the
Fuck.
frame.
I have a feeling that most of the people who have joined to watch this on Twitch or YouTube or the Facebook, certainly the Facebook page for Judge John Hodgman, they probably are members. Though I encourage them to become a member now if they are not. Explain why you became a member, if you don't mind, Jeremy, since you're sitting there so comfortably.
Sure. Well, I became a member last year.
Wow, for the first time. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I have been listening for probably 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of the Judge John Hodgman show, the Jordan Jesse Go. Janet, I don't mean to leave you out. I've not listened to your podcast, but that's what I'm going to do as soon as I'm done here.
Yeah.
I'm psyched. I'm psyched. Welcome in.
Can I make a rec? The recent episode Janet did with Maddie Myers is so great. They are both so funny, and they
thanks,
talk about
man.
teen feelings in such
Maddie's
a sweet
great.
way, but it is hilarious throughout. Great episode, a great place to start with the JV Club, which is an awesome podcast.
Great. But the one that I think just put me over the top to join and support was the Beef and Dairy Network.
Sure.
Because I have not found anything quite like it, and I enjoy it so much that I wanted to do what I could to make sure that it kept it.
Nice. I
Thank
loved
you.
doing that show. That was so fun and so weird. And it was really that moment of like, I'll never do this again. Like no one will ever give me a place to be this exact character under these exact circumstances ever again. It was a blast.
Well, and I think, Jeremy, that you put your finger on it, which is that this is how the shows survive. Like, it's not going too far to say that if it weren't for the listeners, we couldn't make it. We couldn't make Judge John Hodgman. You know, we have ads, but they wouldn't pay for the year. We really need listeners to support us. That's how it works. That's the whole idea. So I'm super grateful to you for being asked that question and answering so honestly, even though it made Janet feel terrible. But here's an opportunity.
I've already thrown myself into the inferno with the Sesame Street puppets. I'm not living anymore. I'm just a spectral now.
Janet was inside Snuffleupagus when it went into the furnace.
Whole time.
Here's the thing. It's like, Maximum Fun is a network of a whole bunch of wonderful podcasts. I recommend them all wholeheartedly. Max Fun Drive is a wonderful time to discover new podcasts and to support them if you can. It's in the Maximum Fun Drive. MaximumFun.org/join. And Jeremy, I think you are like a lot of people who are watching. You are a member. You became a member recently, so thank you very much. We do need to build our membership year over year in order to keep going. So if you are not in a place where you can upgrade or boost, again, Janet will be sad because she won't get to the goal where she and I get to. She won't. But
Jeremy, why?
No, don't put it all on Jeremy.
Jeremy.
I would ask you and everyone who's listening, particularly this second week of Max Fun, introduce people to a Max Fun show. People who might not already be listeners. People who might love the show, and maybe this year they'll join, or maybe next year they'll join. In particular, the Judge John Hodgman episode that came out last week, I think, is a really great episode to share with people in your life who've maybe never listened before or are intimidated by a podcast that's been on for so long. I think Jordan's recommendation of that interview for the JV Club is a great shareable. So if you're out there and you're already a member and you've already done what you can, the one thing you could do that would be a little bit more is to spread the word. MaximumFun.org/join. And if you aren't a member, please go to MaximumFun.org/join and please join. Maybe you know someone in your life who would love to be a member and get all the bonus content, including our conversation with Richard Kind, which was incredible. You can give a gift membership at MaximumFun.org/join. You can even just go and get a $5 a month membership anonymously and randomly donate it to some Max Funster out there who can't hack it this year. So I hope everyone will go and spread the word. And Janet, I'm not even sure that we said what we're going to do clearly.
No, we absolutely did not.
Right,
We
okay.
absolutely did not.
So
You're going to make drawings of all the state seals, right?
Drawings. We said drawings. I remember drawings.
If Janet's goal is 125 new and upgrading members, and if we get there, Jeremy, I'm going to let you go. Okay.
Thank you.
It was great to hang. It was great to hang out with
Jeremy,
you.
So fun.
thanks for
Thank
bringing
you.
that shirt
Thank
and
you.
your wonderful spirit.
And truly, Jeremy, stay in touch. I love what you do. Thanks for keeping people safe on the rides. I've got so many questions for you. Let's if I do this again, come back, okay?
What's the abominable snowman on the Matterhorn really like?
He's a good hugger.
I want to know.
I bet.
I want to know. Have you
I
ever
bet.
been evacuated from a ride?
Oh,
Absolutely. Yes,
I've evacuated on a ride.
All right, we'll talk more about that later next time you come back. But thank you very much, Jeremy. Thanks for being a member. And Janet, if we reach 125 new, we're going to wrap this up because I know people got to go. I'm going to be coming back today at 4 p.m., but I'll talk about that in a minute. Janet, 125 new and upgrading and boosting members.
Mm-hmm.
Boosting is a little bit between joining and upgrading.
Mm-hmm.
So you take your existing membership and you boost it one.
That's what Jeremy's doing right now for the JV Club. I guarantee it.
Guaranteed.
I feel
He's
it in my
boosted.
bones.
Guaranteed
Jeremy's
booster.
he is going to get a signed by both of us state motto, hand-drawn, artisanal impression.
Look at Mauser Schmuel, who just upgraded to diamond level. Please don't burn up the amazing Mumford.
Mauser,
What's that?
we're all
What
so
is that a
relieved
reference
we don't have to
to?
do
That's
anything.
a Sesame Street character.
It's a
A
Sesame Street
la
character.
peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm glad I picked peanut. Look, I picked Muppet Show, but I also picked peanut butter, so I think Mumford survives.
Covered.
Okay.
So you and I last year, when
Last
you
year.
did my podcast for during Max Fun Drive, we spoke for I think 2.5 hours, and it went by very, very, very fast. And we had all of these ridiculous ideas, but one of them really stuck. And I kept thinking about it, and it was that we thought it would be really fun to talk about each state's motto, what it
Yes.
means, and why the heck it has the motto it has. Opportunity for, I think, probably a lot of laughter, and yet also learning, not unlike Sesame Street or any of the other fine
Yeah,
podcasts.
A lot of
you can watch
laughs,
on this
a
network.
little bit of info, and also we're gonna rank them, right?
I'll rank them with you all day long, my friend. We've
Like,
already had people reaching out on social media saying, help me understand my state's motto.
Yeah.
You heard it from Christina. I cannot wait to dig into all of it. And hopefully
What's
we'll...
the state motto of Maine is Dorigo.
That's just like a Toyota car. The
know.
Toyota
The
Dorigo.
new Toyota Dorigo.
It's not
Very
chips,
affordable.
it's
The Dorigo lasts forever. You can drive a Dorigo 200,000 miles.
Look, so it's obvious if you go and upgrade your membership or boost it a little, put JV Club, put little Janet Varney there on your list of podcasts you support. If you're among the first 20, you're going to get a hand-drawn picture. Then there are all the pictures you're going to get. And you're also going to, we're going to make this fun podcast about state mottos. It'll be fun. And look at Llama over there in Reading, England, pointing out the gift memberships have kept them afloat as someone who can't work due to disability. So huge thanks for everyone who was kind enough to
Love
do that. I agree. Thank you. Hey, thank you so much, Janet and Jordan, for joining us.
Yeah, this
Thanks
has been
for
so
having
fun.
us.
Thanks everybody, and thanks,
And,
thanks
I'm-
to everybody who's joining. It's so cool. I love this time
know.
of year. It's
So
the best.
awesome. And Jesse, you know I love you. Thank you. It's
Love you
always
too,
fun to
pal.
spend time with you. I'm going to let you all go. I'll just say, hey, at 4 p.m. today, I'm going to be playing SimCity on Twitch. You can find it wherever you found this. And we'll be chatting, and you'll be watching me putting up SimCities or tearing them down. It's a lot of fun. Very, very relaxing. And we'll talk a little bit about Max Fun Drive there as well. We're now on to our next goal, which is 2,500 new and upgrading members for Judge John Hodgman. We unlocked Shooting the Breeze. If we hit 2,500 before the end of Max Fun Drive, I will bring back my afternoon talk show, Get Your Pets, where I, a person who used to be on actual television, now goes on the internet and interviews cats, dogs, and other pets. We'll do 2 weeks of afternoon Get Your Pets. It'll be a 2-week limited series.
Nice.
It's going to be a wonderful wild ride, as it always is. Janet, do you have a pet? I don't remember.
I have 2 dogs.
Will you come on Get Your Pets?
They're dying to meet you. They're
Absolutely.
dying to meet you.
Jordan,
Yeah.
you don't have a pet, right?
I have a cat.
You do? I guess I
Yeah.
should have known that. Will you come on Get Your Pets?
You're like, yeah, you seem like the type. I am the type. Yes, you would be correct. I am a cat weirdo. Yeah, I would love my cat Bug and I would love to come on Get Your Pets. with you.
Okay. So we got to get to that 2,500 new
We
and
gotta.
upgrading
Let's do it.
membership level, and also go and support Jordan and Jesse. Go go and support JV Club, please go to MaximumFun.org/join. Get a gift membership for someone. Upgrade your membership. Spread the word. Thank you so much. Any parting shots, Jesse? Any last thoughts?
No, I hope people will join. And Jordan and I are going to be live streaming later this week. What are we looking at? Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, is it?
Yeah, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm gonna look at my cal and confirm that. Yes, Wednesday.
We're gonna open trading cards.
We're gonna be pack breaking, as they call it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring. I got all these at the office from the Put This On shop, and right now I'm kind of leaning towards Pro Set music cards. Maybe some 1990 score baseball cards, and possibly a pack of baseball's biggest gross outs.
Okay, great.
That's what I'm leaning towards right now. We'll see.
I've got a. Sorry, go ahead, John.
Oh, I'm just want to answer this question in the chat. Yes, random gift memberships count towards Get Your Pets GURP. That's what they call it.
All the GURP heads out there.
Yeah. As the gift memberships count towards all of the goals. So if you do a gift membership for Janet, do a gift membership for Jordan, Jesse Go, whatever you do, it counts to the numbers. So yes. Sorry, Jordan, I interrupted you.
Oh yes, just saying, for our pack breaking, I've got a pack of classic Simpsons trading cards and a pack of Jurassic Park trading cards. So will I get a Nedry? Will I get the elusive Wayne Knight?
I still have a couple of Dark Crystal packs I got off Put This On.
Whoa!
That I can contribute to the
I think I have some old Garbage Pail Kids, but I'm not sure where they would be.
Don't send those.
That's a tall,
yeah. Collectible. Well, last thing I want to say before we go, other than go to MaximumFun.org/join, go to MaximumFun.org/join, etc., is I have a message in the private chat from a very close friend. Their name is Jeremy.
Yeah.
2 words. I'm boosting.
My heart
Jeremy boosted it.
Jeremy.
All right, we'll do this again. So much fun. See you at 4 p.m. for the Joy of Zoning SimCity.
Thanks, friends.
Keep an eye out for all our streaming events. Please go to MaximumFun.org/join. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you.